Hi, sorry for the second interruption, third take. What I was saying is about study guides. The study guides are assigned every so often, and kind of as we finish them. Pava sometimes gives out multiple study guides at once, and just so you have them. The study guides, you can do them without reading the book, but I would suggest don't take the book too seriously because it's really wordy, right, you guys? Some of the
bias too.
Well, that too. But seniors, we learn to read through bias because we're, I don't know, if you're in Mr. Scene's class, you will understand. But yeah, Mr. Forrest does a really good job of just listening to his students. If you have questions, just ask him because he's really
open to it.
Yeah, focus on helping us understand. He will spend very short time on stuff we do understand, and he'll stretch out the periods of time, class time, that we need to understand certain topics. Because sometimes the books just goes on and on and on when he could explain it so concisely and easier to understand. But study guides, keep on them because they're a big portion of the class grade. Because APS and Econ 2 is mostly study guides and tests. There's usually no quizzes unless you're in Pava. Pava gets quizzes, right? Yeah. Yeah, but the study guides, there's not a lot. There's not like every assignment a bunch. You just maybe, if you count all the weeks, that's maybe how many? I don't know, like 15 or 17 chapter study guides. But that it isn't a lot. So your grade, the bulk of it is tests and study guides. And these study guides are kind of important because they rack up points pretty fast. But Mr. Forrest is good about giving partial credit, so you should really try your best because he gives us a lot of other privileges as seniors. You can go to the bathroom whenever, you could eat in class, but he just wants to ask us to be responsible about our privileges as seniors, and that you can take that to your other classes as well. What else? AP classes, AP tests. Oh, I was in band camp during marching season. It's hard to juggle a lot of stuff. A lot of you who are watching, if you're juniors, you understand. If you had band last year, junior year with marching is pretty tough.
It's ridiculous hard.
Yeah, but it's doable. You just have to stay on it and just sleep. Because the next day, if you didn't have a lot of sleep, you can't focus and it pushes you back farther behind. So I would suggest to sleep. During marching season, you can ask your teacher for assignments ahead of time. You can ask for extensions because they're lenient. Miss Noche, Mr. Forrest, Mr. Pava, right? They understand that we have extracurricular activities for sports and for band and for forensics, for choir, stuff like that, rehearsals. Just let them know. Let your teachers know how many tests you're having on one day because sometimes you have 4 tests on one day and one teacher might be kind enough to postpone it a bit for the whole class, but they need to know. Mr. Bomback especially is pretty lenient on test days. He wants everyone to be there to get the grade, so he wants to know when people are going to be out.
Study groups?
Yeah, study groups. They work if you can work with a small study group. Larger study groups usually get off topic, but sometimes to remember certain things, you need some kind of memorable event to remember them by.
For Gov especially, I'd say study groups will help.
Like, oh look, this curve's moving this way, this curve. Me and Rishi did a AP cramming
Yeah,
a couple
econ.
days before at Starbucks. And we were just going through the graphs, and everyone else probably thought we were crazy. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, and like whoosh, and like all this stuff. But for us, it helped. I remembered stuff that was really on the test. Go through the amendments, go through the Supreme Court decisions.
Don't stress on Supreme Court decisions. Honestly, we learned like 15, 20, and there were like 2 on there. So.
But it's good to know because you don't know which ones.
Exactly, you
just
don't.
know the broad outlines. You don't need to know exactly who was in it or the case, but you need to know what topics they covered.
Amendments, which ones they relate to.
Amendments, you know the numbers.
Just
know the numbers.
Just know your amendments. It's not that hard.
Yeah, know the numbers and what they are. Like First Amendment, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure some of my other classmates are doing amendment projects, and you can look at the links.
Pava does amendment projects, yeah.
Yeah. What else? Calculus students, as you probably know, seniors don't get the AP bump, so be sure to start off early and ask questions. calculus, because, yeah. Sorry, she was giving me this look. That, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, but Mr. Pruthi gives a whole 10%, I think, for a 5.
An 8 for a 4? 8 or 6.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's less, but it's significant, but only to juniors. So if you're taking calculus AB or BC, he does for both. Yeah. If you're taking calculus BC or AB, be sure to keep on track with this stuff, because once the class is over, you won't get an additional bump, and you would have already applied to colleges, gotten accepted, hopefully, to the ones you wanted to go to. And your grades do matter, because colleges will rescind your applications. Yeah, talk about college apps. How much time do we have? Do we have time?
5 minutes.
Okay, college apps. Apply to the ones you want to go to, because if you know you're not